Writing music, getting it produced, mixed, mastered costs a lot of money.
Yeah, man.
I'm an independent artist. I have to pay for everything myself.
Right.
So that means I have to work
Yeah.
to get it done. So
work, time, pay.
100%. And so it's not a matter of like, oh, it took me 3 years to write the EP. A lot of things happened in between, and I'm writing music all the time. But in this world where everyone wants instant gratification, everyone wants more content, I'm an artist. I need to have a strong foundation. I need to understand my voice.
How well do you know Sydney?
I come here, I think now, literally once or twice every month.
Amazing.
So I know it quite a bit, but
Yeah.
I'm not like, oh, there's Newtown, there's this, but I can get around fine.
Because the big thing about artists and moving between cities is you're actually working when you're traveling.
100%.
So like smelling the roses, you know, and getting a chance to really dig in, it becomes really difficult.
Yeah, it is difficult. But I do feel like when I do travel for like studio sessions, when I'm in the studio, it feels like rest.
Yeah.
It feels like, you know, I'm in a safe sanctuary, so I'm not really stressed out. But it's when I've got to like get to this place and get to that place in between like deadlines, and then at the same time, my manager's like, AKOSIA, do this and do that.
Yeah.
That's when it's so stressful.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. And the teams that we build around us are so important.
Vital.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky that I have people like Lucy on my team who
Yeah.
really love my music, adore me, and just sort of like lift me up and encourage me, because it means everything. Because if I didn't have such a supporting team, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
Hey AKOSIA.
Hi.
Welcome to Happy Mag.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. You've got a really busy schedule, and making time to visit Happy Mag is a real treat for us.
I wouldn't have it any other way. I really like it here.
Thank you. I know we talked a little bit in the kitchen, but I would love to hear, I know you're a Melbourne girl. I'm always interested in the hometowns of people that come to visit Happy. I'm especially interested in the living spaces of creative people, because they're often reflective of who they are and what they do. It's important for our spaces to reflect. Can you tell me a bit about home?
I love my home. I live near the beach in Melbourne, and I have a pretty large house. So that means I've got like a sort of area that I use as my studio space, and I've got 2 keyboards in there, and I also have 2 guitars, but one guitar's in the living room, and then another guitar is in what I call the library.
I'm sure they move around.
They do move around a lot. But I just love my home because for me, it's a place where everything is calm. Everything still has to get done, so it keeps me humble. I still have to do my laundry, I still have to clean up and cook and do all those things. And it's just, my garden is also very beautiful. I've got a kumquat tree. I have 2 lemon trees and 1 lime tree. Yeah. I also have a mulberry tree that is flourishing at the moment.
Yeah,
so
it's the season right now. My mum has one.
Yeah, and I grow chives and parsley. And I'm not as sort of dedicated as I used to be, because I travel
to the garden, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I try to have a garden that sustains itself. So like sorrel, mint, parsley, chives. Once you plant them and weed around them, they kind of do what
until they go to flower, right?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the guitars and you mentioned the keyboards. You multi-instrumentalist. They're all very comfortable for you?
They are comfortable, but I don't perform with them.
Okay.
I think I just use them to express myself and to figure out what it is that my mind is trying to write about, or how I'm trying to be honest, a lot of it is just about me, without sounding strange, pleasuring myself. Because when I play the piano, it just feels so good. And I'm lucky that that's my work as well. So as I take my time and strum my guitar as well, I'm able to find the chords. I'm able to just relax and feel good.
Amazing.
I recommend
it's meditative, right?
It's very meditative. It's very sensual. It's very pleasurable. And it's also like euphoric. It's just amazing that you can make a mistake and it makes sense, and you can change your song as it goes. Do you play an instrument?
I do.
What do you play?
I do. Well, primarily I play the keys, but I'm quite comfortable demoing on guitar as well. So everything you're saying, I absolutely relate to and understand. Yeah. Demos are this fascinating thing, right? You talked about a mistake, and there is this tradition of chasing the mistake in the demo. Do you know what I mean when I say 100%. That? Do you demo on a phone? What's the...
I demo on my phone vocally all the time. So like if I'm out anywhere and I hear something, like it could be a phrase, it could be a melody that's playing in some cafe all the way, I'll stop what I'm doing if my mind is like, oh, change it into this. And I just allow myself to free flow sing. I was in a session the other day and a producer played me a track and instantly my mind was like, oh, these melodies. So I just throw things out there.
Cool.
And it's really important because you are able to make combinations that you'd never traditionally make.
Sure.
Because the way that you listen to music, it kind of lays down a foundation of this is what makes sense, this is how you should go. However, it's in the making mistakes and free flowing and improvising that you're able to find like a deeper meaning
100%.
to like a tune.
Especially if you're starting with the melody like that, because the melody then you have to chase the chords in a backward fashion, right? Yeah, I love that. And even the tempos would lend themselves to being diverse, right, in that way?
100%.
Yeah.
I'm just laughing because I had a session with a producer called Donny Benet and he produced Bang Bang for me.
Yep.
And that session was amazing. And after we finished this track, he's like, okay, now let me pitch it down. I was like, no, I'm not ready for that. And so I got stuck into this place of original chord, a little bit higher, a little bit lower.
Yeah.
But that's where you find the magic and that's where you kind of have to sit in how it feels. Like, what is this track supposed to be? Is it supposed to be a bit more of like a happy, uplifting track, or is there like an element of sorrow or an element of remembering a memory? So my phone is full of demos where I'm just like...
Back them up. Back them up.
Do.
Good on you.
One of my singer-songwriter friends lost her phone and she went through a crisis and I was just like, okay, I'm sorry for you, but I'm going to take this as a lesson and back my phone up.
Very cool. So we've naturally segued into music and stuff that you've done. I love some of the producers that you've worked with. Donny we're massive fans. Is he Ben or Donny when we're in a session?
Well, I call him Ben,
cool.
but I refer to him as Donny because that's his stage name as well.
Did he play on the track as well?
He did everything.
Oh my God! Yeah.
He played a lot on The Prophet.
Yeah. He is such a
guitar, bass. He's just insane.
Yeah.
I was just watching him go from instrument to instrument. I was just like, wow. Yeah. You took my basic chords and made a symphony.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, what a treat to watch. Yeah.
He's the best.
Was that in Sydney?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very
I went
cool.
to his studio home.
Yeah. Awesome. But that isn't the single that came out this week. Happy release day.
Thank you so much.
The weekend.
That's right.
Yeah. There can't be enough songs about the weekend.
There cannot be. It's a holy, holy time.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know everything there is about it, but I'd love to hear it from you. So the track is a banger. I love it. The clip is absolutely gorgeous. For anyone who hasn't seen it, go and check it out. It's just everything that you want from a song about the weekend. But tell us about the song and how it came about.
I'm just in love with that song. I wrote it during a time where I actually wasn't going out, but I was, may I dare to say I was falling in love.
Okay.
And I just wanted to feel or capture that feeling of when you're in a crowd and there's someone that you're into and you see them over there and everyone else doesn't matter.
Everything else disappears.
Everything else disappears, and there's like
that's
this
the feeling
natural,
I got from the clip.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There's this natural force that brings you together. The music is hypnotic. The chemistry between the two bodies just gets you together, and you spend all your time with that person. And it's a little bit flirtatious. It's about a little bit about sex, a little about dancing, and suggesting what do you want to do this weekend when you know exactly what you want to do and you want to be with that person.
And you can dance, and you're dancing in the clip, and that's awesome.
Thank you so much. I've always wanted to do like a serious dance music video. In my other music videos, I've kind of like done a little bit of this or whatever, move my body, but I wanted to take that official step and be like, hey guys, I'm serious about dance. This is another area that I want to express myself. So I was very lucky to work with Claudia.
Okay.
She's a director and also a choreographer.
Yeah.
And so I did it with her, and my dance partner was Kwame. He's also Ghanaian.
Yeah.
So that was a really nice element to add. So two Ghanaian people.
Lovely.
It just made us look so nice together, and it made us, like our bodies and our skin just look like they were weaving.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Beautiful.
And Tentendo
produced
the track.
He's done.
What a unit. Like, such an interesting personality. Tracks that have millions of plays.
Yes.
And this hyper chilled kind of presence as well.
He's very calm.
Yeah.
I think I really like personalities like his where it's like He's confident and calm. He doesn't need to like prove himself. It's
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
he's talented and that's all it is.
Yeah.
And one thing that I was really impressed about my session with him was when I sent him through the demo, by the time I got to the session, he had made 2 options.
Right.
So one of them was what you know as The Weeknd now, and the other one was like a different vibe. And I was like, wow, he's really ready for this session.
Yeah.
That's rarely happened before. And then we just built from
Choices,
there.
baby. Choices.
We love and need choices.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I'm all too familiar with the gap between inception of a concept and the time that it's released.
Yes.
You know, because of, I was really interested in exploring your back catalogue. I mean, one of the big things I want to talk about today is the EP, the up-and-coming EP, you know, debut, which
That's
is
right.
massive. But your first single was released in 2019.
That's right.
My guess is it's been that long because you're just super busy doing other cool stuff. But there's probably also other reasons.
Yeah.
I know that's a kind of pronged question, but maybe touch on that. Maybe touch on the gap between, you know, the writing process and the release process, and we'll get to the EP in a sec. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I might take this opportunity just to like be a voice for other artists and other independent artists. Writing music, getting it produced, mixed, mastered costs a lot of money.
Yeah, man.
I'm an independent artist. I have to pay for everything myself.
Right.
So that means I have to work
Yeah.
to get it done. So
Work, time, pay.
100%. And so it's not a matter of like, oh, it took me 3 years to write the EP. A lot of things happened in between, and I'm writing music all the time. But just back speaking specifically for myself, after I released Don't Say, I met my management, and my management was like, this is amazing, let's take some time and develop. And so I got to meet lots of different producers like Willie Taffer, Rob Amoroso, and develop my sound. Just
Amazing.
go a bit deeper, because it's very important to, in this world where everyone wants instant gratification, everyone wants more content. I'm an artist. I need to have a strong foundation. I need to understand my voice.
Well,
I
that's
need to
something
build
that
on my craft.
I noticed that in everything that you put out there.
Yeah.
Incredibly curated,
Thank you so much.
but in a really beautiful and positive way. So highly considered.
Thank you
And
so
I
much.
find that rare.
It takes
Well done.
time. And even like with my artwork, it takes time to come up with a concept. I'm trying to like put a thread of things together. Mini segue. My first single was Don't Say. I was sitting down. After that, I was sitting on the floor.
Right.
After that was Speechless. I'm sitting in a chair.
Okay.
After that was, I can't remember,
Okay.
but it was like then I was standing up. The next one I'm actually elevated. So I've taken time to think about the
believe I missed that.
artwork.
That's so good.
And it's just Easter eggs for people who find it, but everything takes time. So going back to my journey, when I was going to release a single called Collingwood after
Okay.
Don't Say, but that'll come out a little bit later when the time is right. So I did lots of development. I released Speechless, and then I started to write a lot. And then lockdown happened.
Yeah, man.
So I did release Speechless in this really weird window in lockdown. So like we were able to open up a little bit, shot the music video, we went back into lockdown.
Okay.
So the music industry didn't know what was happening. It's
course.
like you want to release a song, but then you want to tour it and perform it. But we were in lockdown in Melbourne for, was it like 2 years? I can't even remember now.
Yeah.
It was insane.
shocking. Yeah.
Couldn't go to sessions, had to do things by myself. I was lucky enough that I was able to do ISO by myself pretty much. And then Willie Taffer in Sydney was able to produce it where he was. So that ended up working quite well. So those are the aspects that mean it takes time.
Yeah.
Trying to make sure that I have a very strong voice and I'm intentional. Lockdown, other reasons, money. But yeah, I'm really proud that I got to this point, and I'm really happy that things are now flowing. And so you can expect a lot more music from
Fantastic.
me. And it's not going to take as long. But that's why my process
So
is
I want to get this out as soon as we can, but it's Friday. What is the date on Friday? We want to tell the world about this EP, this debut EP that's coming out on Friday.
I believe it's the 18th.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah. Friday the 18th, debut EP by AKOSIA.
I'm so excited.
I know, amazing. What is the launch release celebration look like?
Well, the official celebration is going to be December 15th at the Nightcat.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be having my debut headlining
Hey.
show, and I've got some very exciting people who are going to be joining me. I will be joined by Ijale and also Olivia Esquiosos. They're
Awesome.
Melbourne artists,
Yep.
and they're just phenomenal. And I'll be there with my full band and
Very
dancers.
cool,
So it's going to
very
be
cool.
an experience which I don't want you to miss. So
All right.
people need to grab their tickets.
Yeah, man. Sounds amazing. I thought it'd be really interesting to touch on growth as an individual and growth as an artist when it comes to pushing into and outside of our comfort zones. Because you're clearly someone who is comfortable being uncomfortable. There is no way, I don't want to presume anything,
Yeah.
but you've done so much and you've done it all so well. I would love to hear your take about personal growth and comfort zones.
I think I've just learnt and accepted that feelings are transient and it's good to be courageous. And, you know, having anxiety about something doesn't mean you shouldn't do it, you know? And sometimes I think maybe it's the universe asking me, how bad do you want this?
Right.
Nothing is actually
I love
easy.
that.
No matter what you do, it's not easy. Your job's not easy. My job's not easy.
Sure.
So it's like, prove your love for music, AKOSIA. You want to do it? Okay. You're going to have to be in this situation. What are you going to do now, girl?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm always sort of challenging myself with and facing. I know on the surface I might present as someone who's got it all together and I, you know, don't have any fear. But I think sometimes that's true, but at the same time, I think I've just accepted. I've gone through a lot of big life experiences in the past 2 years.
Do you want to share some of those?
Yeah, I'm happy to. And because of that, I know that because I got through that, I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
And I was still surrounded by so much love and support. I feel like no matter what had happened to me in the past, I am the luckiest. I have the best friends. My sister and brother are phenomenal. I have an amazing partner. That's all we have, truly. And because I've been able to go through literally the fire, I can sit and be uncomfortable and still pursue my dreams. And I think that's what it's about.
Sure.
I'm not someone who's like, yes, lean into the discomfort. I'm like, no, I want to lay down.
No, sure.
But I understand that it's not going to be around for too long. So it's part of the process of learning and understanding something.
Yeah.
And it's just what comes with it, you know. And it's difficult. It sucks. It doesn't make sense. It's challenging. But on the flip side of that coin, there's so much love.
Yeah.
There's so much, you know, beauty. There's so much growth, and there's so much that we can do to help each other. So that's why I'm in it. I'm in it for those feelings.
The paradox of the human condition.
I know. They don't warn you about this as a kid.
No, they don't.
They don't.
There's a lot they don't teach us.
They don't. And then people see, you know, the shiny images, or they see me doing something amazing. And I never want to take that joy away from people, but I also want to just remind everyone that it's still really tricky. There's
100%.
still so much.
I want to always be able to give people that opportunity to open that door as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really important. And the universe doesn't give us courage; it gives us opportunities to be courageous.
It
right?
does. Have you read the book, The Courage to Be Disliked?
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
fantastic,
so
isn't
good.
it? It's
Yeah,
so good.
so good.
It's a really good way to sort of spin your mindset to observe whatever situation
100%.
you're in. And that's what I try to do.
Yeah,
I try
fantastic.
to do that.
Now, thank you for sharing. That's wonderful.
welcome.
We are going to touch on, I mean, it was all about music and happy is music, but, you know, we're so much more than that.
Yes.
You have been immortalized in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I know.
And, you know, I don't want to make this about me, but I now know somebody who's been in a Marvel film.
So do I.
You know, heaps of them now.
Yeah.
Gosh, you've probably told the story 1,000 times, but I want to hear it. So how?
Obviously, I'm an actor,
Yes.
and when I got the audition for it, my agent, who's very respectful, he always says, "Oh, AKOSIA, this role has come up. Do you want to go for it?" I was just like, "Yes! Oh my goodness!" But everything related to the Marvel industry and Disney is very secretive. So
Okay.
I got an NDA that I had to sign.
Yep.
My agent didn't even know what the audition was
Wow.
about. He didn't know
Wow.
specifics. I wasn't allowed to talk about it with anyone. I did the audition. I sent it off, and then I waited.
Yep.
So sometimes you can find out the next day. It's like, oh, you've been requested for a callback or you got the job or a week. I heard nothing for 2 months.
Okay.
So I was like,
Wow.
At least I got the audition. That's nice.
True.
And then about 3 weeks later, my agent's like, you've been put on hold. And I was like, oh my God. But being put on hold means they're looking at you and maybe 10 other people or one other person.
Yep.
And so I had to sit in that space for like another, I think, 2 months.
Man.
And then when he finally called me, I was driving and I was like screaming.
Yeah.
I had to pull over because I'm a huge Marvel fan.
Yep.
I'm a huge Star Trek nerd. I love science fiction.
Amazing.
I'm really into film. I'm a film buff as well. So it was just like a dream come true. Like,
yeah, man.
I'm in a Marvel film and they made me a god. The Wakanda god.
Yeah. What? So legit.
So legit. Like, I feel so grateful and very humbled. It's just, even now I'm pinching myself. I don't believe that it's real. But another thing that happens in the film industry, it actually isn't real until you're on set because things can change.
Yeah, man. Of course.
And what happened was I had the pleasure of warming up for Julia Stone at the Portsea Hotel. We did a gig there. And when I got off stage, I jumped into a limo, drove to the airport, made it just on time to catch my flight. And I found out that they actually flew someone there to replace me. If I didn't arrive on time.
What, as a backup plan?
Yeah.
Because your
The show
schedule was
on.
so right. Oh my goodness.
Show has to go on. I would have been replaced like that. So luckily I did get there. And
I'm here, guys.
I know. I was like, don't. They only told me afterwards when I arrived, which is good. But the next day I was on set getting my prosthetics done at 3 a.m.
Oh my God.
And that's how.
What a dream. The world now knows, the happy audience, at least, if they weren't already familiar with this incredible star, is now familiar with your work. Congratulations on the single that came out a couple of days ago and your debut EP, which comes out on Friday.
Yes.
What's next?
I really just want to sort of sit and enjoy Black Diamond, you know. I put a lot of time and effort into it and I've really curated the songs to fit exactly what I'm trying to say and trying to explain, you know, what it is that a Black Diamond is. Like, I'm a very multifaceted person and the lives that all of us live right now are very complicated. No one is one thing anymore. And we go through so many like different emotions, so many different experiences. And I've tried to package all of that in the song and in my music and in my EP. So I just want to enjoy this. And I also want people to enjoy Black Diamond. And the way I've curated it is, it flows from beginning to end. So listen to all of it from first track to the last.
I did, yeah. I got an advanced stream. It was delightful.
Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. But you know, having said that, I am always writing music at the same time. But yeah, I'll make more announcements later.
Can't wait. Well, thank you so much for joining us at Happy AKOSIA.
Thank you so much.
So lovely to meet you and hear your story.
Thank you for having me.
Cheers.
Thank you, Radi.
See ya.
I felt like I was at home actually. Just being in a studio setting,
Yeah.
I felt at home.
Right.
The crew was there, they're very lovely and supportive, and I was able to do my thing with my MD. And it was also like a major bucket list tick off because like, I sang my song on TV.
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.